So I'm mic check, mic check. All right, all right. So I got a script. I'm able to talk to the sellers. I'm able to talk about the condition. I'm able to talk about their timeline, even able to pull out a little bit of motivation. But when it comes time to qualify and see what they want to sell for or what price they're thinking about, I get a little locked up, especially if I'm cold calling. It's not some, follow up. What do I do? That is the topic of our conversation today. I am here live, Courtney Rollins with the Aqua team. If you are on YouTube channel, do REI Deals with the Aqua team, then you see, I don't know how it's set up. I guess you see their faces or you might just see my face, but I got the sales team with me. Oh, Rachel's in the house. That's what's up. Appreciate you, Quentin, letting her in. And great that you jumped in here, Rachel. But my team is here. We are wholesalers primarily out of the Baltimore, North Carolina area. And if you are not sure what wholesaling is specific to real estate, it really is the art of sourcing deals. What we do is we help people solve problems and create opportunities for income and wealth through real estate. And that's primarily going directly to sellers, speaking to them, finding these distressed properties and distressed sellers and figuring out, do we have the tools or resources to help them come up with a solution that helps them and lets us make a lot of money along the way and provide opportunity for an investor to take it on if we don't take it on. And we put money into the title company's pocket, the construction workers' pocket. Usually if it's sold, someone's living in that property or house. So there's so many benefits to real estate investing. It's an awesome world. We got a big team here. And as we, it's really 5 of us really on the sales team, and my mama, she's not going to be able to join us today, but I look forward to her continuing to work, keep it in the family, But like I said, today we're talking about how to get the price from the seller when you're in the cold calling stage. So I got my man Quentin up here, Salima up here, my man Brian and Rachel. And you'll hear from them in different points in time as we discuss and as we role play. But folks, please jump in, chime in with any comments, any thoughts, any questions, any suggestions. That's also over there in the Instagram world. And so we'll make it happen. So let me go ahead and share my screen so folks can see all the cool stuff we put together. I've got about 2 slides to anchor the convo. I think I'm in. I think you see folks' pretty faces on the side, but I'm going to make this slideshow. All right, so how are we discussing these prices with our seller leads? Well, here's our lead flow, our script flow. And don't want you to get too much caught up in there. If you guys are new to wholesaling or talking to sellers, you definitely want a system, you want a process because it allows you to build the competency. Whether you got a big old extroverted or you have the gift of gab, or you love talking to folks, or if you're introverted and you still could have the gift of gab, but you may not necessarily get energy from being out in front of folks. There's still ways that you can develop the skills and the process, and understanding the process is one of those ways. So this is straight from like the Sandler's system, Steve Trang's system of like making sure that we, from getting and disrupting the pattern they're used to setting the rules, finding out what the pain or the problem is, and then helping them understand the impact of that pain in their lives, as well as finding out if there are any deal breakers or other things we need to figure out or discuss that's going to prevent us from moving forward. Getting that pre-commitment. Hey, so if we say this, we're going to have a signed contract, or we're going to move on to the next stage or whatever. Being able to understand that is very important. But the main thing for folks to do is, when you're qualifying leads, like my team right here, a lot of us are cold callers up here. Some of us are on the other end where we're following up. But cold calling and even following up, it's, if you ever fall back on like, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to be listening for? What am I supposed to be asking? Think CPR time. The condition of the property, the price, the most important, the reason they're selling. What is the reason? And then the timeline, which really helps you get their motivation to see what the reason they would even consider selling. We're trying to figure out motivation and all that good stuff. And really, I would say out of all of these, the most important thing really is the reason for selling. Now, the price is important because we want to see, what era we are in. But at the same time, and you'll hear me say it again later on, our sellers sometimes we're helping them understand a problem. Sometimes a lot of these properties or even seller situations are in situations where it can be such a pain or a hassle that some of our sellers have maybe unrealistic expectations or need guidance in getting to understanding where they need to be. Just like when you go into a doctor's office and perhaps the seller or the patient wants one diagnosis, however, you know that this is probably the best situation for them based on what the circumstances you hear. And that's why when we can present certainty, did I spell certainty right? I don't think certainty. I think that's how you spell it. I don't look right there. Anyway, certainty, competency, and likability. So let's all think that, whether we're mumbling, bumbling, stumbling, or we're having a smooth conversation, we're really trying to present certainty, competency, and likability. And something about those two C's, when I say certainty and competency, I'm not saying speaking over folks or trying to show and prove we know every term or language there is in wholesaling or real estate. That's not it. What we're saying is really that we have integrity, that what we say we're going to do, we're going to be able to do. So if we say, hey, we might not be able to buy the property at that price, that is awesome. Or, hey, you should probably go with a real estate investor. Hey, why don't you fix that up? Or, hey, we can close in 30 days. Or, hey, usually it takes us 45 days. Or what time do you want? That's showing certainty that they can trust you, that they can trust and not, hey, we'll close, we'll do this, we'll pay cat, whatever, just trying to appease them and have that deal breath. But that's where the certainty comes in. And I think it ties right into competency too, that you can have a rational conversation, and most important, likability, because again, we're not trying to convince anybody to sell their property. We're trying to convince them to sell it to us, but not to sell their property, because the folks we're talking to already have a situation. What up, Money Mask? What up, Justin? What's going on, folks? Good to see you all up here. What's up, Scotland? Mark, good to see you up here as well. So if you ever feel like you're like, oh, I'm not sure what I'm doing, you can always fall back on, let me figure out what the condition of the property is, the price, reason for selling, the timeline. But you don't want to sound like you're interrogating the folks and going over like the condition to death. I've heard a lot of folks, and I've done it before too, where we start just drilling down on condition and all that stuff. And that's not necessarily as much important. What's most important is building that connection and that rapport. Well, maybe next week we'll talk about like the 3 levels of rapport. That would be really cool. All right, team. So again, anybody can jump in, but has anybody found do you all find this useful? The condition, the CPR time as an acronym? Let's see, where are you guys? I don't see where you all are, but let's see. I don't know where we.
Yeah, I most definitely find it useful.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you, Rachel.
It's like a general map, like with like landmarks. It might not like have every street, but it gives you a general direction and you know where to go.
That's awesome. It's like that radar, like radar, you don't see what's in between, but at least you know, or if you keep another metaphor, like when you're the rotor in the boat, like, okay, I'm a steer, I know what direction I want the place to go. And I can ask this question, open-ended question, or make this open-ended labeling and just sit back and listen and get more information from the seller. So that I can show up that I'm listening, which really builds rapport. And so make that connection. Thank you. So here we go. Let's look at some things that help us. Here's some phrases that will help us. All right. So, hey, I thought it was supposed to be all animated up and looking all cool. Did we lose Talima? All right. Oh, we got it back in there. Okay. So we live, like I said, folks. We lost you, Miss T.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi just like cut out.
Oh, that's all gravy. Your Wi-Fi don't want you to be great, but it's all good. We're recording this. You'll be able to come back. And that's another thing, folks, building out your team. And this serves a lot of purposes. It allows us to give back, it allows us to respond to and get feedback from folks. And it allows us to have this like recorded so that if somebody else on the team comes along, or if you're trying to build, you can like use this and hopefully it'll help you lock up juicy deals. So price conditioning, preparing the seller for a reasonable offer. So we can buy the property if the price is reasonable. Like I've said before, I can buy any property if as long as I can, make a profit. And I don't say it in a butthole way. I just say it really matter of fact. I have a business, I have a company. My job is to, make a profit out there so that I can, continue feeding my family and all. Doesn't mean that I want to give them an unfair offer, but I want to give them a reasonable offer or letting them know up front. And this is all cold calling in the cold calling stage when you haven't talked to the seller before, and it could also be in the follow-up stage. But John, we aren't normally the highest offer, but we do trade speed and convenience for a discounted price. And then, you move on to asking a question or an open-ended, labeling that has them talk. If they do say their price, I love this, again, price conditioning. Well, I'll see if we can come up to that price, that offer. It's not like, yeah, we can do the 120. Oh, you do 120? Whatever they say. I don't care if it's like 30% of what we think we could buy from. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can come up with that price, because quite often, if we jump at the first price, and especially if it's a hot smoking deal, they're going to have buyer's remorse or seller's remorse in this situation. We really want people like to feel like in this situation, they like to buy instead of being sold something. And I know we're talking about buying it from the seller, but they like to feel like they haven't left, money on the table, or that it was there was a conversation or a negotiation. So we'll see if we can come up to that offer. And what's so great about being the cold calling stage is that you can always pivot yourself with the seller against the underwriter or the other team. All right, so let's see if we can get up to that price for you. We'll try to get this qualified, and let's see what the team says. We'll try and get it qualified for the best number for all of us. All right. When you're at cold calling, within the most natural way, we want you to at least try to ask for the price at least 4 times if they haven't given it to you. Of course, they give it to you once. Then you can, condition even more and ask, hey, is that the best you can do and stuff like that. But after you get it, you take the notes and you continue building rapport and getting as much information as possible. So here's a great one right here. Here's a difference. What do you think it's worth all fixed up? They give you a response. Okay. And how about now in its current condition? So already, especially if they've acknowledged in their condition that it needs work, or they may acknowledge that it needs work, or, all it needs is a new roof and it'd be, this or that. But you're again letting them know, okay, this isn't a property. We're not going to buy it for ARV after repair value, This one's later on down, this next bullet. This is after you've heard their pain and you've helped them understand the impact of their pain in their life. So if we were able to, I don't know, if I was able to get the team to take this on with the tenant in it, or if we were able to close in 15 days so that you can go ahead and get out of there and, move down to Georgia and be with your grandkids. Or, okay, if we were able to pay that closing costs or do it without a real estate commission, what could you sell it for? And whatever they say, all right, is that the best you can do after you hear that? Okay, all right. You just take notes and then you just pivot on to more. Another great one. I want that to sink in though. That's great right there. I feel like pulling that from other places. If we were able to, and then put in the pain. And remember, you notice a lot of stuff I said are like really standard things that a lot of wholesalers are doing, but it doesn't mean we spill our candy out in the lobby. Like we say, we don't like, oh, we pay our closing costs. We do all that, blah, blah, blah. Those are leverage points that we can use to appease to their psychological pain. So we don't want to just throw it all out there, but we can say, well, if I'm able to get that, I'm not sure, but I'll check with the team. If I'm able to, pay in Cambodian currency, what's the best you could do? I'm a bit facetious, but and then also a good question is, well, what is a low ball offer for you? Either if they might mention it, or you might just ask for yourself, what's too low for you? What do you think is like way too low? Those are great ways to get the price out for them, and you're conditioning them to know that, hey, we got to buy this at a price that makes sense for all and for us. Now, if it gets hot, pivot back to build a rapport or other terms. Like you can go back to the CRT, the condition or the reason or timeline, or just complete something else that completely connects. You know, if you hear them playing basketball in the background, or they're talking about cutting their grass, or something that's authentic. You don't pull it out your button, because everybody has a BS meter. So we're not trying to be salesy, cheesy, or whatever, but reconnect in a different way, and you can come back to the price later. Well, you can even say, hey, well, it looks like we may not get to understanding a price right here, but let's see what else is important to you. Stuff like that. All right, this is the last slide I just wanted to pull up before we take some thoughts and start the role play. But the seller's price really isn't important. It really isn't important what price they say to an extent. The main reason it's important is we're trying to gauge motivation, and is this a quality lead that makes sense for the acquisitions team to, well, what temperature they're going to follow up. We're going to follow up regardless. That's what we do, follow up and follow through as best we can. But following up with somebody who thinks they want $300,000 for a property that's worth $30,000 looks different from following up with somebody who wants $30,000 for a $300,000 property. We're going to follow up that. We're knocking on that door next. Let's see. And we're still going to be doing a pull away. Let's see. I don't know, 30. Well, what if we can, blah, blah, blah. And just know that time and circumstances changes all things. So that just applies across the board for so many areas, particularly when a seller, like I have a seller right now, she wanted $25,000, and it just doesn't make sense for us to be able to do that. But she doesn't live in the property anymore. She unfortunately, her husband passed away during our conversation. He was in hospice during the time. The property is about to go underwater. She's moving, and she needs funds to move, and we can't pay her that $25,000 to step in and take over the loan. This is subject to deal. It just doesn't make sense if we put it out there to our buyers. They won't be able to pay us $30K or even $26,000 where you can get $1,000 to step in. And so we knew to keep her in our REI, which is the CRM we use, but keep her in our follow-up. And really, I knew that every first of the month it was going to get painful for her. And not that I'm like happy about that. Shoot, if she found a way to actually solve that problem, awesome. That's great for her. But I know we weren't the solution at that price. But I literally got a text from her maybe today or yesterday. And shout out to Rachel for, you probably noted it for me, or another one that you noted for me. But she said, hey, well, if you guys can do 10K, we'll be able to, we can move forward. And so, I think we had a buyer at 15K for down payment. I definitely have to double check. But instead of like jumping on and saying, yeah, we can do that, I said, okay, well, I think I texted her back. All right, I'll check with my team and see what we can do. Again, I'm not like trying to put a squeeze, but you are trying to help them feel that pain. And I knew every first of the month she was going to feel that pain. Or like I have a buyer now who has a seller or a tenant that's not paying. And it's gotten really nasty, and they're going to court for an eviction, but he doesn't have a rental license. The property is even listed vacant with the city. So Baltimore City is very tenant friendly. And even though the person who's in there knows that, hey, I'm living in a property that's a roof over my head and my kids are living here and I should be paying once a month, she's saying, hey, well, I don't have a rental license, so I'm not paying. It hasn't been paid since October. And it's of this recording, it's middle of May. And so he wants a certain price, but I'm like, hey, how are you going to get somebody to pay that price? Well, I'm going to have to take this over, or my partners are going to have to take this over with the tenant that's not paying. Help me figure that out. How do I do that? Oh, Talina keeps popping out, And again, throw the problem on there. That's straight up Chris Voss. Oh, how do I do that? How do we pay at this price if you're, I'm sorry, I really want to do that, but how do we do that? Make them solve your problem for you, So time and circumstances changes all. And if you're really, really pushed to give a price, you can always, again, go back to, hey, I'm just here to collect information. I would love to get a price for you. But if you find yourself in the follow-up or just in the flow of the conversation, you think that, okay, you want to give a price, you can always pop open Zillow is your friend. Check out what the low price ranges are going for in that area and give them a range. And like, don't hold me to this, but just looking at it, we like to buy it at a property and always give the first um, the lowest one first. That's just how our brains operate. We hear the first price, and that's what we're going to go to. So if you can anchor it super low, so let's say that the property, we want to give a range of 100, 110K, even though we might be able to sell, buy it for 130, 120, we at least, they might, depending on what they say, no, that's not going to work for me. It's like, okay, well, we'll just send it to our team and see what's up. It's just, I'm just looking, just quick shoot. I just wanted to, you're asking, I'm not quite sure yet. I'm just collecting information, moving on, if you are on the follow-up, okay, well, you might be right. I'll just check my notes and see, and then go back to building rapport and finding other, motivation. Or will I see investors buying for, and again, low range first. And don't let your range be like 30, 40K. Be, put in the 10 range and all. And we could, we'll stop there. There's a lot of different areas we can go to. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter it's not really about fancy techniques, or it is about understanding human psychology. I do believe that. But it is about, again, being likable, being certain, and being able to condition them to know that, hey, we want to buy your property, but it has to, make sense for everybody involved. And so if we're able to solve your pain that you have, that we've listened and we showed you that we are here and understanding, then we maybe have a solution for you, and that's hopefully how we're able to solve problems and get some juicy deals. I would love your feedback. What are you thinking, folks? What you thinking, Quentin?
I mean, just like you said, this is like, I feel like it's the most important part to it easily, like getting in and finding the pain and just working around that. And then not only doing that, but sounding authentic at the same time. And it's pretty hard to do, but as long as you, again, like you said, just be yourself and not just really just be yourself. Like the script is there to help you, but it's not there to be, you're the only person that can be you. You're the only person that can close the deal. So come with you first.
I dig it. Authenticity, right? That sounds like that go-giver, like the law of authenticity. The biggest thing you can offer anybody in the world is yourself. I'll dig that. I can dig that. Hey, Brian, you got any thoughts about how you help condition the seller for the price, or even getting a price range out of them that's helped you in your different experiences on the phone here or in your other sales spaces?
I mean, I think the idea of putting it back on them, if it was fixed up, if you were able to sell it on the market, if you were able to get, I think putting it back on them is always a really good strategy. I like using Zillow as well. It looks like neighbors in your area are selling their houses for $60,000 to $70,000 range. Is that about what you were thinking?
I love that you come back with a question too. Is that about what you're thinking?
Yeah, put it on them, try to figure out exactly where they're at.
Heck yeah. Right. Well, shoot, folks. I was mumbling, babbling so much. We're a little bit past our time that I said I'll hold you guys, but I do want us to do a role play. But before we do a role play, we're about to help Talima. Talima, I have not listened to these calls, but I did promise you earlier today that we were going to listen to one of your calls and help the team get feedback. If you're on your team, if you're by yourself, record your call so you can listen to yourself, so that you can give yourself feedback. Some people don't like their own voice. It's cool, but get used to it. Practice like a musician listens to their music to help figure out, where they can improve. Of course, sports world, it's the coaches that go back and look at the tape, and the team that looks at the tape that really get better. So we're about to listen to one of your calls, Talima, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
That's awesome. And I love it because Talima and Quentin, they both are in the 18-year-old club. I think y'all both still 18. You just, yeah. Right? Right. And so Talima's intern on the team. And sad to say she's about to leave us in a couple of weeks, but we wanted to help her see how help her build the skills of looking at the entrepreneurial world and how powerful it is to talk to sellers. So she's only been actually, I think this week, was this your first week cold calling?
Yeah, it was.
All right, awesome. All right, folks. So let's listen for things that went well and areas we can help her out with. All right. Let's see. Leonard Smith. Let's see.
Hello. Yes. Hi, Leonard. This is Tina with Aqua Team Properties. I'm calling about a property on at 2427 East Monument Street. I was wondering if you're interested in selling your property and offering the property there.
Yeah, it is for sale. Did you contact the real
Oh, it
estate?
is for sale?
Yeah.
Oh, it's with a realtor. Okay, I see. Well, could you give me their contact info?
Yeah, hold on one second.
Okay. That is good because usually if they have a realtor, I think by law, we're supposed to speak to the realtor first. So good job. I don't think we're even trained on that, Master T.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to just like hang up, be like, oh, like we just buy directly from the
No, we can buy with realtors though. So that's
Oh, we can?
Mhm.
Oh.
I would say you suffer from what a lot of us do at the very beginning. Like you sounded surprised that you got the yes.
Okay,
Like
great.
you got into the line and then you were just surprised that he said yes. You're like, oh,
yeah, especially after going through like 50, 60 no
no's and
answers
not
or
answers.
no.
Yeah, that first yes is like, wait, yes, wait, hold on.
What? What'd you say? I said, okay, thank you. Click. I was checking. Nah. All right, let's. Okay, so right now you're just, let's see, maybe just getting the information
Okay,
from him.
gotcha. Thank you. Take care.
All right. So shoot, even in that short little thing, anybody got any comments? I got a couple of notes. I'll just jump in real quick. Salim, you still with us? Let's see. Yep.
Yeah.
So I love how you said the name with the uptick. Hey Leonard, hey Leonard, this is Talima, and you got the flow of coming in really well. And I really like what you said, interested in selling your property, or we're trying to buy properties. Another thing you can say, just make sure that you again don't say offer. I know I had it in the script and I didn't mean for it to be in the script a while back. I'm trying to convert from that a while back, but I guess I didn't update my notes. So if you say we're trying to sell, interested in selling your property there, or we're interested in buying your property. Well, I like selling your property. That's cool.
Look, yeah, you got to update that because I be saying offer too. I'm like,
yeah. Oh man, my bad because
embedded.
My bad, because psychologically, I'm just listening to folks like Todd Toback and Steve Trang, and it's really, we're not trying to make offers. I'm trying to buy your property. If you can buy your property, cool. But if you just want to offer, I'll tell you what I think your property's worth, but we're not just in here trying to make offers. I just think it's more of maybe it's a psychological difference and shift in our urgency.
Courtney, I'm calling about your house on 123 Main Street. We wanted to see if you would sell your house. Like, what does that actually sound
this like? This is what I've been saying. Hey Brian, this is Courtney from Aqua Team Properties. Call about your property on 346 Main Street. Yeah, we're buying properties in the area there. Just saying if you're interested in selling. That's what I say. We're buying properties in the area.
We're buying properties. Are you interested in selling?
Yeah, we're buying properties in the area there, trying to see if you're interested in selling.
Gotcha.
And then sounds like I caught you at a bad time though. It's like, even if they ain't say nothing, it's like they might just say hello, but it sounds like I caught you at a bad time though. Yeah. But anyways, all right, let's try one more. Maybe we got one that can dig in. There's another 1 minute 30-second one. So let's see.
Has been forwarded to an automatic.
Boo. I guess that's all there was. So other ones look like they're 30-second long, so I'm pretty sure they're voicemails too. How's it been, Talima?
It's been interesting. People are a lot more like not really into it than I thought.
Yeah, it is a grind, especially where you and Quentin are, and even Brian was, and I've been, and all. Hey, Rachel's been listening to your calls, and she's the quarterback, making sure our properties get in front of, move on to the next stage, and don't get left behind. Any feedback or advice for Talima? Whether it's any advice or anything, or words of encouragement, anything like that?
I think you're doing great. You jumped right in and you're doing really well with the script. And you did a really good job. You have been doing a really good job pacing your speech, which is really good. For those of us that like to talk, it can come out really fast sometimes, but you've been doing a really excellent job.
That's what. See, Rachel, I put her on the spot, but she actually gives really good. Well, all y'all give really good feedback. And it's cool to have a team that builds off of each other. All right, folks. So I'm gonna jump on calls, but we got a role play. So maybe we can get one in, maybe two if we get a couple of rounds. Then I definitely will let you all go. Anybody want to volunteer or be voluntold to role play? Who wants to be the seller? That's the easier part. Put people on the hot seat.
I volunteer to be voluntold.
Awesome. So you're the seller. All right.
Okay.
And Salima, why don't you be the buyer? Or Q or Brian? Anybody want to particularly be the buyer?
I'll be kind of nice.
I think Salima raised her hand.
Oh, she did? Okay, awesome. All right, cool. That's what's up. We're gonna try to get you as much time in as you can as you're headed out. That's one reason I'm thinking about you, Talima, now. You know, hopefully I'll have enough. We'll have plenty of time with the other folks. All right, so you just ring her in, Talima, and I'm gonna mute myself. Or should I? Is that no? I won't mute myself because I think people can't. I don't know. Master T, you gotta take yourself off mute. I think. Jason, what's up? Sales training with the team. Talima? Is she frozen? She might be frozen. Q, why don't you jump in, man? I think Talima's a Wi-Fi or she's being smart and pretend like she's frozen. No, okay, I know. She probably is frozen. She's had some internet issues. Oh, there you are. All right, all right, you ready? Talima?
Oh wait, for what?
You're role playing. You're about to see if Rachel has a property she's interested in.
Okay.
Buying. So ring her in.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, she froze. She frozen.
Oh.
Hey, Q, jump in, Q. Can you jump in?
I'm having audio and output issues right now.
Oh, this gonna be a pattern. I don't know. Come on, team. Okay, Brian, can you jump in?
It's a little different. Oh.
Now Talima starts working.
How you feel?
I have to go to like a different room. Hold on. I think my Wi-Fi works better.
All right, while you're setting up, let's give him something. You mind going, Brian, with
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, awesome.
So am I buying?
You're selling. You're the buyer. You're the buyer. Yeah, you're the buyer. Yep.
Okay. Hey, Rachel, this is Brian calling from Aqua Team Properties. I know it's a bit out the blue, but we are buying houses in the area, and I'm wondering if you were interested in selling your property.
I am interested. You said you're from where?
From Aqua Team Properties. We're some local real estate investors in the Baltimore area.
Oh, okay.
And so it sounds like you said that you were interested in selling your house. Is that right?
Yes, I am. I've actually been considering it.
Fantastic. What has you thinking about it?
Nice.
Good question. Kind of just wanting to capitalize on the market and thinking about getting a little more space, getting something a little bigger.
Okay, where are you thinking about moving to?
Up north.
Oh, hard to find space up north. You must be going out to Wyoming or something, huh?
No.
But that's all right. You got family up there?
No, it's just always been a dream of mine to go up north, and I haven't really been able to get all my ducks in a row yet. But
Okay.
yeah.
How soon you looking to do that? Were you trying to get up there by the fall? Did you have a particular time you're trying to be up north?
I'm not in a huge rush. I mean, in the next 12 months.
Okay. Okay. Is that when the lease is up for the renters or?
No, I'm currently living there.
Oh, okay. Okay. So if we did get you your money, you would have to find a place up north still. You probably haven't found a place yet. Is that right?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. So it doesn't sound like you're in much of a hurry right now. We should probably give you a couple of months before we start talking seriously about selling.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, but what kind of a offer do you? I mean, you called me, so what kind of an offer were you thinking about?
Yeah, that's a great question. So typically the way that we work is we try to buy the properties as they are so that we're not asking the owners to do any extra improvements or renovations before they get out. We like to purchase them cash so that none of your money is going to realtors and you're able to keep as much money in your pocket as possible. And then we typically try to close as quickly as possible, based on the situation that you have going on. And I mean, based on us buying it like that on your timetable, what type of offer were you thinking about?
Um, I know it's worth about 200,000, so I guess that's what I had in mind.
Oh, okay. Is that what your realtor gave you an idea of the estimate?
I haven't even spoken to a realtor yet. It's just selling it. It's just been something that's been on my radar.
Oh, okay. So you probably have some neighbors that have been selling their houses in that range.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Now, let me ask you, have you done any renovations over the last 5 years? Bathroom, kitchens, any of that stuff?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, typically we like to try to bring it back up to the HGTV, modern look. A lot of our new home buyers are looking for that, real up to date look. So we probably
Oh,
come in
okay.
and up to date, update that, put in the granite, new bathrooms, vanities, all of that good stuff. Let me ask, how old is the roof?
That's about 9 years old.
Okay, so not too old. Okay. Now, I know that you said that you weren't in a rush, and I don't know. I have to go back and talk to my team. But if we were able to get close to that, 150, 180 range, how soon would you be looking to move and get that space up north that you were talking about?
So you said y'all do cash, and I wouldn't have to pay closing costs.
That's right. Yeah. So if we don't deal with the realtor, we don't have any fees or closing costs or anything. We take care of all of that.
Hmm. I can 4 to 6 months, really.
Okay, so even if we were able to get you that full amount in the next 30 days, you would still need a couple of months before you're able to move.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, no, that's great. Like I said, I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to get up to that number, but I definitely want to take it back to my team. It sounds like time is not really important, so we have some time to work things out and see where we can get. Now, what I want to do is have my acquisitions partner Courtney give you a call back. Um, is this time tomorrow a good time for him to reach back out just so we can make sure we got the preliminary information and when you are ready to sell, that we have all our ducks in a row?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, fantastic. I'm gonna have him give you a call back at this number around 5 o'clock. And of course, if you need anything before then, you can feel free to give me a call back or shoot me a text.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It was nice talking to you. Thank
Hey, it was
you.
great talking to you, Rach. You have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, Rachel be easier than pretty much anybody that we ever have to deal with. I appreciate you not being too hard on me.
Yeah, but still, I think there was I mean, that still sounded very, I mean, I've seen her, I mean, you've heard conversations like that before as well. It's a blessing when you have them, but oh my gosh, I was about to do the slow clap. I was about to stand up and Cheers. So Quentin and Rachel, Talima, what did you all hear or that? What feedback do you have?
I would say just from what I heard, like, just like, I mean, he's one of the best people I've ever heard of, like, deflecting. And like when you ask him a question or when you do something like that is off of his path, he easily just wraps it back up, and he did a good job of that throughout the whole conversation.
Yeah,
And I liked how he closed it out too, because like that's something I have trouble with sometimes, like finding the right words. He just kind of flowed with that really, it was just really like smooth and just graceful. Really, it's just good overall.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Brian, Power Prospecting. He's been cold calling for about a decade or so. He used to do real estate for realtors, setting up leads for them, and he's has his own cold calling company now and doing wholesale. And he said it was a really good call, man. So yeah, you getting some props over here in the IG world. Yeah, thanks, Q. What'd you hear, Talima, that worked for you, or just thoughts, feedback?
Well, from what I heard, I liked how like Brian was like, it sounded like really natural and casual, but like he was also like taking the lead and just like asking like the hard questions, but like in a really like nice and like friendly way.
Yeah, there's gotta be a phrase for that. Like I don't know if it's just to tell you, we typically that tone or that energy works so well. You do it to you master it, Brian. I don't know what the phrase or tone it is, but it's like, typically we'll take a gun out and shoot your puppy, but it's just part of it. You can say almost anything that sounds like, oh, okay, I got you. It's just so matter of fact and so like smooth, bro. What you thinking, Rachel?
That sometimes the sellers that are middle of the road for me can be hardest to navigate. Like if somebody really, really has a need, then I know what to do. If somebody like is mad and just hangs up, okay, I know what to do. But it's the person that wants to sell but isn't in a rush, not too much pain, but definitely wants to move. Sometimes it's almost feels harder to get the information out, but either way,
I definitely know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Courtney, remind me of that guy we had that was like, if you get to the number, we're good. And then we're like, okay, we got the number. And he's like, okay, well, I still might sell it. Like,
I spoke to him yesterday, and it was so we got to workshop that because my man Justin and I was up here, and we were like, what is going on? We'll go back to that. Let me make a note because I talked to him yesterday, and it was so we might break it down Friday.
Well, Rachel, I agree with Rachel saying that those middle of the road kind of, you're not giving me too much. Like that's what when she was like 6 months to a year. It's like, well, I guess we might need to follow back up in the. It doesn't sound like we're too serious right now.
Yeah, because the one feedback I had too was that like because it seemed like there could have been energy and good rapport that was building there, and it was, but Rachel. Even though you said she was easy, I was going to say the same thing, Rachel, because you were giving like one sentence replies. Because it was like, it's just similar. You said I could do it or I couldn't do it. But I guess maybe trying to open her up a little bit more with the, why she's moving out there, hasn't got her ducks in a row. Maybe just pivoting back to just having her open up to have more conversation. So she's talking.
Yeah, what ducks do we need to get in a row before we can make this happen?
Yeah, that might have been. Yeah, that might have been something to open you up because you gave a lot of you were very pleasant, but it wasn't like a conflict or anything for him to like chew on, even though there definitely has to be some pain there. I agree with you. But man, did y'all see how he spoke and listened to the seller and asked for all the CPR time to her story. Okay, so it sounds like you're trying to get up there. What time are you looking for? Boom, he got the timeline out. I love the assumption mismatch. So I'm assuming you have the tenant leases up by then. No, I'm living in there.
Yeah, that was
good. Information out. The assumptions, setting the rules. Well, we typically do this or this or that. That was just awesome. Asking about renovation. Just a matter of fact that I said that if we get you the price, and even though he did hand off like the benefits, it was after. Asking her, okay, if we're able to, meet at your timeline, when she asked about the price, if we're able to do this, then what do you think you could do for us? It was all awesome stuff. It's just like, as Rachel said, I think sometimes it's harder to like get these folks who are like middle of the road to open up a little more to see if like, you know, is she really interested or not? But I do like how you're talking about, well, it doesn't seem like we should be talking to you until about, you know, 4 or 6 months now, right? Or yeah, good stuff.
And then,
Yeah,
no, that's why I was like, okay, so now that I say we're not going to talk to you for 4 to 6 months, how do I still wrap this up without it being too weird? So that's why I was like, you know, I still want Courtney to talk to you, make sure, you know, we're on the same page. Because I was trying to think of the same thing, like, how am I going to end this if I'm not going to give her an offer? We're still a couple months away.
I think you did a good job. You still stayed in control. Like even at the end, the things that I threw out to be kind of mild obstacles, like the timeline, not really being in a rush, wanting a higher price, you still maintain control by saying, well, it looks like we have plenty of time to get this figured out. I'll give it to my team. So you flipped what is typically not our ideal timeline into a positive.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, that's great. Great point. Great way to put that. You got on the same side of the table too. It wasn't like you against her. It was like, hey, okay, let's figure this out together. And the ending, Q, I'm glad you made note of Brian's closing, because you notice how he sort of edified the next step, person to step, like, hey, we're gonna get this to Courtney. Already got a name, so she can hear the name established. Made a specific time that he's going to call back, or that I'm going to call back, so that, you know, that we can fulfill some promises and start getting that ball rolling even more. And didn't just leave it up in the air and stuff like that. That was a really cool close. Good stuff, in my opinion. I learned a lot right there.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I hope y'all learned a lot. If y'all like this, man, y'all go check out do REI Deals with the Aqua team on YouTube and subscribe. We're trying to build up our subscribers. Like and share this with folks on Instagram, and keep following us, man. We're going to keep on growing and keep on sharing. And, you know, we say rising tides lifts all sails. So that's all I got. I don't know if anybody else on the team got anything else they want to share or part with before we get up out of here. I see y'all smiles and shakes.
I mean, I really like listening to Brian when he does, what's it called? Role playing. And I just think, just in terms of like role playing, every time I feel like we do a role play, it's like I learn something new and I add a new thing into my script or what I want to do. So, you know, just for anybody out there that's doing this, like role playing, either by yourself or with other people, and just getting into that rhythm and that flow, like that's the most important part about all of it. Like if you like Brian and you stay calm throughout beginning, middle, and end of that whole conversation, more times than not, you're going to accomplish what you need to accomplish. So practice is important.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a practice. Like it would be crazy to expect. I'm watching the PGA right now. Like, it'd be crazy to expect these guys hitting these shots to just come out there and do it on Thursdays through Sunday. Like you have to practice. Like it'd be crazy to imagine Kobe hitting these shots if he wasn't in the gym shooting and practicing. Like, I think for us to act like this isn't a skill, like it's not something we can get better in. Like most people don't look at their jobs as something they can get better in. It's something that, you know, a task they have to complete. And for a lot of people, it's the same thing over and over again. Like the fact that we can get better at our job and better at our job doesn't mean that we get more time to slack off. Like that we get paid more money is awesome. Because there's a lot of people, it doesn't matter how good they are at the job, they're getting paid $15 an hour. Doesn't matter if they're the best person working for $15 an hour or the worst person. And we can get paid $15,000 an hour or $15 million, you know, if we do it right. So if you're telling me I can practice and get this money, oh yeah, I'm with it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hell yeah, that is completely awesome, folks. Well, shoot, I'm about to close this one out. Might just stay on. I think I'm gonna stay on the IG. If you're in the IG world, I'll just stay on there. Or no, I'm gonna close out IG and jump back on because I got a couple of tough, difficult calls to make, and I'm gonna go ahead and set that up as the topic. I'll call it eating the frog first. I heard somebody talk about eat one frog a day, or go ahead and deal with the most difficult thing first when you're talking to sellers. So I got a couple of tough calls to make, and but yeah, I appreciate you guys practicing with us and rocking and rolling. I'll see you all later on Slack and in the virtual world. All right.
Bye, guys.